All right, back on the Mana Symbol channel, doing something a little bit different today. Playing a very, very competitive deck with a wonderful guide from top tier Modern Master Moored to Light. You can get that by hitting the command !4C Ephemerate G in my chat there. So this is the most recent iteration of 4-color Ephemerate from Mordekaiser. Lots of well-known MTG online players, Canister, Martinez DP, and others have been playing a bunch of variations of this. Mord's current list plays 3 Wandering Minds from is this Midnight Hunt? Or is this the other one? This is Crimson Vow. No, it's Midnight Hunt. That's Crimson Vow. That's Midnight Hunt. Whatever this one is from. Say on it. Vow. Yeah, alright. Digs you 6 card deep for any non-creature, non-land card, which in this deck is a lot of stuff, including one of your most powerful cards, Ephemerate. So there's a Modern Showcase challenge this weekend. I'm hoping to get something in shape over the course of the week that maybe isn't 4-color creativity, so I'm going to be playing a bunch of leagues of this one today and see how it feels in this metagame full of mill and GDS and all sorts of other nonsense. Been seeing a bunch more green Tron, so it's going to be a little bit there's going to be some tricky matchups as we go along. This is not going to be, me demonstrating off a deck that people don't know and talking about the possible good and bad parts of it. This deck is a very well known, very well understood part of the modern metagame, and I'm just trying to get my hands under it better today. I'm missing cards, am I? There you are. Egg is a perfectly good shape. I like round. So yeah, some variations of this deck. And it's funny to read Mord's guide because he kind of points out Expressive Iteration as a card you should never be cutting down from 4 of. He's playing 2 here. We've got a single Wall of Omens hanging out. I think this is to up both the white count for pitching the Solitude and the Ephemerate count, because now there's 4 Ephemerates, which she was saying you probably never want to play 4. There's just not enough creatures that give you value. But Wall of Omens may be a little bit of extra respect for burn. Not sure on that one either. And Utopia Sprawl is back. That card was absent for a long time. I think overall your matchup against Blue-White is probably so good you don't mind having your Sprawls ended on 1. And there's not a lot of other top-tier decks that are playing Prismatic Ending. So the speed is sometimes useful. What about when Merfolk turns the forest into an island? And you're doomed. Doomed. Actually, no. This always happens. There we go. As long as... Hey, JK Torborg. I got up, had some coffee, piece of toast, banana. Now we're ready to learn painfully. All right, don't be afraid to mulligan. Try to get your colors sorted out in your head before you try to get them sorted out with your hands. Let's go. Sand seems fine. So, Probably against GDS or... Mortar will be here eventually. Probably against GDS or Mill. So unless I have to play removal on turn 1, if I have to play removal on turn 1, we'll get Temple Garden. If I don't, I don't even know if I'm going to jam the Abundant Growth on 1. We'll see. There was a note in his... Oh, it's burn? Perfect. So if they have a creature, we get the plains and ending it. Turn 2, we get the forest and... Oh, it's life total control. Or that new Boros Prowess deck. Which means we could be looking to avoid a Blood Moon. So ending off a plains into forest Abundant Growth puts us in a pretty good spot. Although we can't cast Teferi with that. Now we can. It's not new anymore, JK Torborg. I mean, it's relatively new. It was new like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Doomwake and Shikilio were playing it a bunch. And it fell off really fast. So I don't know if it's worth pursuing. But it could be. Oh, that guy. Well. This is definitely not one of the better matchups for this deck, but... and this draw is not doing me any favors. But, no, I want to bounce this before I do anything more. Probably going to bounce it and then fetch forest, play the growth. So we're going to 12, going to 11. If this is a Boros Charm, we're in huge trouble. Plus side, their mana's not working out super well. But I have to find Solitude and get it attacking soon. Or Mr. Hyper Omnath. Alright. You can't play Oko, which is sad. Is it? I feel like somehow I'm not upset. I mean, don't get me wrong. I played Oko. I liked Oko. But I think it's not correct to characterize that as sad. Yeah, Oko did a lot wrong, actually. The funny thing is, Prismatic Ending is kind of doing the Oko thing to the format, where it's like a lot of strategies, like anything within Snaring Bridge is just like very much less playable. Chalice is a lot less playable. Not unplayable, mind you, just a lot less playable. Yeah, I was hoping they were targeting my Teferi. Basically, I'm just in the market here to top deck Omnath. Enduring Ideal, of course. Yeah, Enduring Ideal, format staple, obviously. I didn't even think it was worth mentioning that, because everyone knew, you know? We all know. Omnath. That's not an Omnath. Alright. I could shock and play Time Warp here, which seems sketchy. I can Witness, pick a Prismatic Ending, and end the DRC. Which is actually almost definitely the best play. And that lets me keep advancing my mana. Like, it's possible they don't have the kill. Although they binned... they bend Lava Spike, so they have to have double burn or Boros Charm right now. But the main deck really doesn't have anything that'll help me here. I guess if I play Wandering Mind and I pick up a... No, I can't pick up a Solitude. It's a creature. Yeah. I plus my Teferi, so I can play this at instant speed if I need to. Not that it's going to matter. Because this is flying, their other creature will have haste. Yeah, like, it is... This card is just a little bit too efficient in terms of being a creature answer and a non-creature answer. But, like, there are axes on which you can beat it, for lack of a better term. So I'm just hoping they're really clunked up on creatures here. Nope. So we've got Night of Autumn and Aether Gust. Is there anything more that I want? Probably not. Spreading Seas is quite good. I think so are all of these. We don't need Time Warp. Teferi is kind of poor. Wrenn and Six is kind of poor, but I don't feel like cutting it. Ice-Fang's not particularly good either. Right, yeah. Well, it's just like, you just have to concede that you have to play some of the new cards. Like, just play some of the new cards. Just get on board. Just get on board and have fun with everyone else. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. There are new cards for basically every archetype that exists, right? One of the best archetypes in the metagame, Burn, isn't using any new cards. Turn 2 Wrenn and Six is not my favorite, but we have Hyper Omnath to make it to, so we stick and keep this. Yeah, you just let it be. Like, the truth of the matter is, a lot of the extended formats of old are less powerful than standard is now, frequently, right? So it's like, I mean, Burn is adapted, right? But it's like, but without playing a lot of new cards, right? They'll just like rotate in the old answers, which are just as good now as they were when they were playing them before. If I get Prismatic Ending here, I'm gonna lose it. Yeah. So this is Life Total Control, not the Boros Prowess deck, by the way. The Boros Prowess deck is playing Obosh. Bin the spike. All right, they're just trying to flip their DRC quick. Yeah. Okay, so we're definitely playing a plussing Wrenn and Six. I'll fetch another basic and get this abundant growth going. No, I'm probably supposed to shock, huh? Like, feels really weird against burn. Because if I don't shock this, then it doesn't help me cast Omnath. This can get me an island next turn. So what I can do here is fetch Temple Garden or Stamping Ground or Breeding Pool. No, I don't want Breeding Pool. I'm getting the island. I guess I'm going non-land. No, I'm going to get land just in case Wrenn and Six dies here. Maybe that's sloppy, but... I don't know, Shadowless. What did the librarian say when the books were a mess? I better get myself a mob accountant. I feel like that punchline you could sub in a lot of setups. Like it could be a store, could be a museum. Yeah, they did. Okay, so I do need to draw into... Okay, good. So as long as they don't have specifically Skullcrack next turn, we're probably in a good spot. And if I had gone Temple Garden on this... Opponent says, I'm not sure if it's correct to kill Wrenn and Six there. I said, me neither. Nah, I'm not pitching Fury here. So Spear, okay. Huh? They just missed a point of damage? Okay. Deal. I should be at 4. I'm not. And we play Hyper Omnath, the Jelly Bin. So do I want a Solitude now, or do I want to try to gain 4 life on their turn? I think Solitude is a lot better to take out their flyer. So I have 2 creatures on the ground anyway. Just no fuss, no muss, no nonsense. Just get it out of there. And then now they have 2 like really significant cards they want to kill, which is not very difficult for them to do, but then they're spending a bunch of burn spells on my creatures instead of on my face. They're drawing. Excellent. Spending their mana on non-burn spells makes me happy. Okay. I think they should have attacked there. Because I would not have blocked, right? They still have a land drop, or am I wrong? Yeah, they still have a land drop. I wouldn't have blocked. I miss these attacks all the time. Ice-Fang. See what this gets me. Okay. Play this gain. Oh, but this means now I can't fetch for the thing. So we just do this. And just attack. Bonk. Yeah. To their credit, they almost killed me on, what, turn 3? That was rough. I think these all pitch to Solitude. And this one even pitches to Fury. So I don't think I'm supposed to board those out like that. I think Witness, sure. Ephemerate should probably still be in. Ending's definitely in. Go down to Wrenn and Six. I mean, it pitches to Fury, but man, it's too much good stuff in the matchup. It's like everything seems good. I'm waffling, chat. I'm waffling. It's fine. We'll be fine. Probably. Or not. Alright, this seems too slow, but any pitch elemental we pick up, we can pitch an Omnath. They take a mulligan? They did not. Pitch is real good, I know. Well, like, again, I have, like, turn 1 ending, turn 2 growth, which is pretty good here for a minimal cost. Ooh, nice mountain. Sick draw. Ooh, the den. Good deck. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bow. I see. Yeah. Okay, so for one life next turn, I can play Teferi, which is pretty good. Yikes. Being able to iteration here for a pitch elemental would have been really good. Alright, how much damage? Just 2? Goodness gracious. No, they have their stops wrong. Or I have the stops wrong and they're getting screwed up by it. I don't know what's happening, but this is the second time this has happened exactly the same way. That's a good draw. That lets me iterate next turn? Okay. All right. Burrow's turn, Bolt. Do it. Burrow's turn. Okay. Uno mas, por favor. Yep. Oh, well. We tried. I don't know if that game was ever winnable. They just had too good of a. I it's really hard to say like you're supposed to, you know, try to mulligan to a fury or have anything like that. Like I interacted with them in multiple spots and we still just died on their turn 4. So 4C Sag? What are you Sag about? This deck is great. Oops. I can't do it anymore. Oh yeah, nice games, Microman. Life total control, controlled my life total. Well done. First ever league. Oh, don't worry about it, friend. You did great. Oh, so you have your stop set wrong unless you were intentionally doing this. Every time you were casting a spell in combat to give your, I assume attempting to give your Swiss Spear a prowess trigger, you were doing it after you had already hit me for damage. So there were 2 different points where you missed a point of damage because you triggered prowess after I already took damage. So just FYI, if that wasn't intentional, which I don't know, but uh, if that was not intentional, yeah. So you need to play spells before you come out of the blocker, the block. See this right here? Blocking. Once you hit the beginning of the damage step, the first thing that happens is the creatures deal damage, and it's done. So playing spells for prowess bonuses during the damage step is not gonna give you what you want. Yeah, no problem. It's when you're getting used to playing online, when you're used to playing in paper, it's quite different. All right, Musagete, Musagete. Last seen on Abzan Elves, eh? This Fury would be really good if I had a red card with it. Abundant Growth could give me the red card, but I think we can do better than this hand. Hey, look, we did better than that hand. So this is fine. We bottom the snow-covered plains because there's no chance that I'm going to play ending on 1. I mean, I guess in theory I could play ending on 1. That seems loose. Actually, if I'm against elves, which is what the thing is telling me, Ice-Fang's pretty bad against elves. Yeah, that's correct, Shadowless. Thanks, Gemini. Okay, probably against elves. Yeah. Okay, that's not like such an important elf to ending on one. But there are combinations of cards where they manage to get the 3 elves on 2. So because they led on it, because they're reported as being on elves, I'm going to assume they know exactly what they're doing, and that is actually quite a dangerous thing for them to have. If they have a, what is it, Dwinnen's... I don't remember the name of the card. It's a 1 and a green for an elf, and when it comes into play, if you control another elf, you get things. You get a token. Thank you. I thought it was Dwinnen's Elite, but it sounded so wrong in my head. Still waiting for them to print a card I can use to respond during the untap step. Why? Nobody gets priority, so even if they did that, it wouldn't work. That's a classic example of something where someone's like, I want them to do this. It's like that literally doesn't work in the rules. Even if they literally printed a card that said you could play lands on your opponent's turn, you're still not allowed to play lands on your opponent's turn. So suiciding Wrenn and Six. They're gonna Coco here. There's nothing I can do to stop it. So we just gotta find a Fury. Lickety split. It depends, Shadowless. Like, yes, but no. Because there are just certain things you're just not allowed to do. Oh. This isn't elves. I mean, it is elves. That's the point, Jen and I, right? Like, even if they printed a card that says, like, you may play this during an opponent's upkeep or something like that, there's nothing on the stack yet. So it's like... And you don't have priority. You can't even try. Like... Oh, they have lethal. Right. Sorry. They just flipped into their combo. I think I saw this list and it's not playing that many of some of these cards. So they got real lucky there. I think. Not sure. You would Shadowless, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure the rules can actually allow for that, right? It's like triple strike. They literally would have to add a huge swath of text to the rules of Magic to allow triple strike to exist because of the way that they wrote the rules for, you know, for lack of a better term, regular strike and first strike and double strike. Like, it's not a small deal to add certain things to the game. And responding to things during an upkeep would be one of them. Playing lands on an opponent's turn is one of them. Because the thing is, we don't need there to be you don't need to make a card that says like, you may play a land on your opponent's turn, when you could just have it say, like, put a land from your hand into play on your opponent's turn. There's no need for it. There's a fine workaround that everyone understands. We went 3-3 at your store championship, had lots of fun, and Comp REL wasn't as scary as I thought. The judge was very kind. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. It's intimidating when you don't know what it's going to be like, but once you get in there, it's usually totally fine. All creatures lose all abilities. This rule applies on layer X. Need to turn off Dryads. Well, you could just also have it say all lands lose all basic land types, JK Torborg. Of course, that would turn off all the lands that produce mana because they're in any way gaining those abilities from basic land types. So that would be really weird. That doesn't do what you want it to do, to be clear. All right, we've got Ephemerate Solitude. Let's go. So I want to get Raugrin Triome, then on 2 play Forest and put... No, I want to get Ketria Triome, and no, Raugrin Triome, and then Forest, and put... I don't know what on it. But I want untapped white on 2. Ooh. Okay, so that's to beat the Furies. But we'll be able to gust that. Yeah, it was in versions for a long time, Toboggan, and then it came out, then went back in. It's like, it's definitely something that fluctuates with the metagame. Maybe I'll just gust this turn. Just sit him back. Seems good. And I don't need to do this draw step. They're going to put it on the bottom. They've got more dorks. Yikes. So I need blue or red on this. Red gives me double red if I draw a Fury. If I go Urian to hand, then I can pitch Urian to remove the Druid if they play Vizier. And that kind of gives me the best setup for the next turn. Because if they play Vizier, I have to exile it with... I have to exile the Druid with the Vizier on the stack, so I'm not going to be able to Ephemerate if they just play Vizier this turn. Store Championship had 4 Tron, 2 Murktide, 2 Urian, and no Rhinos. I mean, paper metas are just all over the place, Toboggan. I've repeatedly been told to fear the Boogeymans that are... yeah, it's not great. Burn and Green Tron in paper. And that has never been true in any of the environments I've walked to. Like, any of the places I've gone into, it has never been the case that that any kind of dominant deck in the room was Green Tron or Burn. People are playing a lot more modern decks than a lot of people would have thought. Yeah, but if you travel to a bigger event, Jen and I think that may fail to be true on the same level. When people are willing to travel for events, they tend to pick decks that are the most competitive, let's say, that they can. Yeah, budget and inertia will affect local metagames, but not when people are going for higher stakes, is my feeling. When people know they're supposed to show up with the best shot, actually trying to win, by and large, people's desire to win will beat a lot of budget concerns even. I don't know if it should in many of those cases, but they certainly do. Okay. So they've got another collected company here. So the question is, do I want to play Ice-Fang here to draw 2? Recoup some of the card advantage I've lost, because I do have something to pitch to my Omnath. I think we can. I think it makes sense to just grab a little divination. Just a little divination, not too much. Okay, that might be a good draw. It is a good draw. It means I don't have to pitch hype out on Omnath. Waffle Tapa with the big raid. How's it going, buddy? I am...
You can run, but you can't glide.
Struggling to learn to play this deck well, but it's definitely definitely not easy. Say that much. Attack with my 3/2 into their Leyline of Vitality Collected Company. Maybe they just don't have the company. Maybe they're just fronting. You have the company? Of course they got the company. Okay. They're pretty flooded this game, or at least it seems like it. 4 fetches, 4 lands in play. Okay, neither of these cards are important for now. How was the rest of your league, Waffo? I heard you lost to the Phoenix player. That's fine. They have a lot of mana, but it's fine. Okay, Witness is huge. So we go Witness for Ephemerate. Ephemerate the Witness. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Omnath first. Omnath into fetch land into Witness. So these 4 are Omnath. Fetch land Witness off this. So I have the white open. Pick up the Ephemerate, pass the turn. And then I'm just super set up to win on the next turn. I think I've got some floating mana there. So green +2, and then I have 1 for the... But Ephemerate's going to my hand, so I have the Ephemerate for Solitude too. I just Solitude Archdruid this turn. They already have 4 mana. And I can't... 4, 5, 6... They have 6 mana at least. Right? I think having the Ephemerate in my hand is about as good. And setting up to be in... basically, the game will be over next turn. I want access to white. Getting a Hallowed Fountain? I mean, I could always... I could... I can Ephemerate the Solitude now, and then it's going to rebound next turn. Hey, how's it going, Brian? So, like, if I want this off the battlefield now, I can do it and still have the value loop ready. Living this dream. Love it. I think we Ephemerate the Witness now. Pick up Ending. And now I have a Solitude ready, but it doesn't necessarily look like them that I do. But I really don't think I'm supposed to be worried about this at all. Like, yeah, it's a lot of mana. I just can't imagine a situation where they can actually leverage that to kill me. They just... Like, I still have a removal spell. Okay, they have even more mana. Now what? Like, they can't do anything with it. Now we enter endgame. Ephemerate the Witness. Yeah, Witness picks up Ephemerate. Ugh, gross. Hey, Robert. My good friend. Craterhoof. Craterhoof would have been pretty good. All right, send that back. So now I can Ephemerate Witness, pick up Aether Gust. Hey, Toboggan. Do I gust their ley line and just like wipe their board here? That seems sloppy, but also really good. I'm still gonna have Solitude, why not? I should have a breeding pool. Oh, also Hyperjom Math mana. Yeah. Alright. White. Red. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I can't also hard cast the Solitude. That's okay. Okay. It's really good, Toboggan. These have been all bangers. Would Natural Order be too good for Modern? Probably not. I mean, it's definitely like more powerful than what's it called? Eldritch Evolution? I don't really think so. Our opponent likes to suffer. I mean, they might be just like hoping that I make a mistake, which, you know, probably happens all the time. I think the answer is no, Roy. A fixed idyllic tutor that only gets enchantments. Feel like Demure for life. Sorry, J.K. Torborg might have a specific agenda. Oh, don't do it, opponent. Okay, good. Be gone. Yeah, it does, Toboggan. Yeah, it's a new object. So, yes. That is definitely a thing you can do. Alright, opponent. Give it your best shot. Okay. Good try. They have 0 cards in hand? This isn't... You didn't do anything. What? Did you think I was F6 or what? Like, I don't... Okay. Remember there was that song that was in what was it? Bridesmaids? Hold on. Opponent's got that playing on a loop. I don't even want to play any of these cards right now. I just wanted to Omnath trigger them to kill them faster. I don't think there's anything in their deck that can even resolve anymore. No, opponents on the classic strategy in Modern. What? You can't ever give up. You're losing EV. Never concede. Never concede. There's such a thing as Christmas anime music. I mean, there are a lot of very Christian East Asian countries. So one assumes yes. Back in a second. There's like Korea is super Christian, right? I don't think Japan or China are in the same way, but Korea sure is. let's finally have a... I want Wandering Mind to be good. Is it good? Well, Mord's playing it in this version of his deck, and he went 16-0 in leagues with it, so I believe the answer is yes. All right, before we continue with that playlist, let's hit this song request queue. We're listening to the song request queue until it runs out. There's only 8 songs in it now, so go nuts, people. I would say that's overwhelmingly Christian compared to a lot of other countries' notes in an octave, and certainly more than you'd expect it to be. Roy. I mean, I'm stealing a bit from another streamer there, but oh my god, going to 5. Okay, going to 4. Oh no, I agree, Roy. They also mulligan to 5. All right, this is what Mord would keep here. I just want everyone to know this is exactly what Mord would keep here. 110%. There is no way this is the wrong keep. Yeah, we definitely consider that, Roy. Okay. I saw, Roy. Second Solitude? Okay, so I guess... yeah, we do this. That. So we hit this one. And that one. Okay. All right. Go ahead, opponent. Maybe should have kept the second Solitude. We'll see fairly quickly, I assume. So that's a 2-3. All right. Okay. Panama? Panama is an absolute banger. I mean, just a lot of Van Halen is just so freaking good. Uh-oh. They have a redraw. Could get scary. I'm not going to ending a Heritage Druid here. Okay. Deck doesn't want to lose. Got it. Deck does not want to lose. Is it worth ending the Druid? No. Yes. Probably. Yeah. Reducing the chance that they get to kill anything here, reducing the chance that they get to start get their ball rolling at all is definitely where I want to be. Yeah, green for sure. Twitch Premium, baby. No, sorry, MTGO Premium. MTGO Premium. Wow, they had Vizier into Druid here. like on pretty back-to-back draws. It's like overdraft protection, but for your deck. All right. If I play Teferi, I can bounce their Archdruid. If they draw Vizier and then they draw a payoff off their Horizon Canopy, I could die. Yeah, you can tell the judge in that situation, Toboggan, and likely what they'll do is flag that person for a deck check. And at that point, if they had been deck checked anyway, and the person they didn't do deck checks, it was comp. You said it was comp Ariel. They should be doing. By the end of the tournament, you should have checked between 10 and 20% of the decks in the event. All right. Not judging your judges. Kind of judging your judges. But I mean, in the event where I went to the finals, I made it to the finals with an incorrect deck list. So yeah, you don't even need to call a judge. You should just bring it to the judge's attention. Just say, hey, this person has that. Would you mind, making sure everything's above board? And they should. And it may be totally fine, right? That's the thing. Like that, I'm not saying that there's even a particularly good chance that there's anything wrong. But it's possible. It's possible the player doesn't know, right? Yeah, and that's the kind of thing, Toboggan, is like if someone is acting or doing something shady, there's nothing wrong with saying like, hey, could we maybe check? Could we maybe check if this person's is on the level here? Why did I think I had removal here? I have Omnath into Ice-Fang and pick up Urian. I could definitely die here. Oh well. Okay, we could get combo killed. Not super likely, but it's possible. We are no longer going to get combo killed. I don't understand cheating at small events. Some people just they just really need, for whatever reason, they need the W. Again, Shadowless, it might be an issue. It is less suspicious. It's less suspicious, but it still might be just as much of an issue. Or it might be just as much not an issue. The issue is marked cards. Are there marked cards in your deck? And then after we determine if there are marked cards in your deck, we look for a pattern on said marked cards. If there's a pattern, that's problematic. Yes, Mike. That is what they're playing it for. They Druid comboed us out in game 1. There are situations where someone will have one of their lands is foil out of all the other lands. And if it's the only copy of that card you have in your deck, that's a marked card situation that's going to be upgraded. Because it's like suspicious. If it's the only foil in your whole deck, that's even more suspicious. But if the card is unmarked, if it's totally flat and indistinguishable, for a given value of indistinguishable from the other cards in the deck, it's not a problem. So, the most important thing is just don't have marked cards in your deck. Just, have good quality flat cards, and if you don't play those versions in tournaments. I don't know. I can't tell you just by hearing that, Mr. Sari. I have to look at what the deck looks like. If I can pick them out, it's a problem. But it doesn't matter if they're foil. It doesn't matter if they're non-foil. It doesn't matter if they're invocation foil. What matters is, are they marked or not? The only thing that matters is if they're marked or not. What level judge am I? I'm a level 1 judge, but judging level... doesn't mean quite what I think a lot of other people think it means. Yeah, you cannot pick. If you can't pick them out, it's not a problem. Period. Full stop. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 4 and 9. No, 10. Good. So I can play Ice-Fang or Wall, draw, then play Urian and flip my whole board. And I can play the Sprawl first. What would I rather have here? Ice-Fang? I should have done this post-combat. I could have attacked first. So basically what different judge levels mean is your experience and capability with certain types of things, which we will extend to the level and size of events and what kind of roles that you can fulfill within those events. So you would expect basically like a level 3 judge can like head judge large events, running multiple teams, and being able to, with a lot of sort of wisdom and experience, make judgment calls on very complex, high-stake tournament matters. Whereas a level 1 judge is expected to be like small tournament comp REL, like maybe you can run a small tournament comp REL on your own. Generally speaking, you should have an L2 around. L1s are mostly supposed to be like FNM store level judges. All right, how tenacious are they? Still 100% tenacity? All right, fair enough. Do I ever judge? Yeah. I judged at the Midnight Hunt release events. Dress down, Ephemerate. Dress down, Ephemerate. Ephemerate. All right. Got him. Do you have a worse judge experience story? I have yet to make a really significant mistake that cost a player a lot. That said, there were some close calls, and most of the bad experiences come from like players being crappy to the judge when they disagree with you on something. So there was like a particular missed trigger thing that happened during the era of, in Standard, there was a Wilderness Reclamation deck with a card in it called Biogenic Ooze. And there was a situation where I basically went all the way down into like the text of the policy to show the player that my call was correct, and they just still disagreed with me for a reason that totally made sense. But then like they decided to have the like this kind of shitty energy escalate, and I just told them, I was like, listen, I need you just to get back to your match and continue playing, or I'm going to have to game loss you. If you'd like to report anything about my conduct or my ruling here, please feel free to do so. The judge community has forums and websites. I can go find that while you're playing your match. Which is a tough thing to do. So what happened was the player who had the problem was the opponent of the Wilderness Reclamation player. The Wilderness Reclamation player went to their end step, and they made a token with their Biogenic Ooze. And then they pointed at their Wilderness Reclamation and said, oh, I forgot this trigger. Untap my lands. And the opponent was saying, well, you can't have that trigger because you said you forgot it. It's a missed trigger. And the part of policy that dictates when a trigger is defined as missed disagreed with the player. You have to be past a reasonable window where that trigger could still be on the stack. And it was totally legal for that trigger to still be on the stack at that point. They might have just ordered them in the different order. No, it's the thing is, it's reasonable because the player said, I forgot it, and the policy defined, like, says there's a policy for missed triggers where if you miss a trigger, you just don't get it. But no, I know, Roy. But like the point is, it's like this is kind of like a when you go and read the letter of the law instead of just like assuming that the name means what you think it means. Sometimes you end up with a different picture. All right, we don't know what we're up against. No companion, so I think I'm keeping the Spreading Seas because I'm more likely to play that on 2 than the Witness. I'm way more likely to play that on 2 than the Witness. So we can go Spreading Seas on 2, Wrenn and 6 on 3. Hopefully pick up a white card for the Solitude here. They're not intentionally disregarding tournament policy until I explain tournament policy to them. That's how I would think about that situation, Roy. Okay, I'm not playing Spreading Seas against this because this could be a blue-white control deck that's going to Spreading Seas me. We might play it on 2. The point is, it came down to, like, the problem was a fairly minute detail of policy that most players, even those who are attempting to be aware of, would not be aware of. So it's just hard for me to have like a hard value judgment on them for that. Ketria Triome. Wouldn't hate drawing a land there. I don't want to get Spreading Seas back here. I don't mind if they Teferi me, so we're just going to jam Spreading Seas on their white source. And I want both of these to be forests in case I need to play the Sprawl next turn. Yeah, people have gotten spicy during judge calls for sure. Never with me. I've been pretty lucky. But I saw it happen at the last paper event. There was someone who got into I would say a shouting match with the judge, except the judge was being professional and wasn't shouting at them. They were shouting at the judge. Yes, they were. They were not happy about their ruling. Mm-hmm. Oh, what are your thoughts on foils? Don't you dare force me. Oh, fuck. Well, now we're in huge trouble. Partially Electric Bob. Mostly what being a judge has helped me do is play tournaments well. Because being able to properly interact with judges is going to be something you need to do in tournaments. So we can catch up here. So yeah, it's mostly about your ability to play tournaments. No, this is like that kind of anime voice actress female singer that like a lot of people seem to hate, but I don't understand why. Like, it's kind of jokey, but it's like not obnoxious. Like, if you're gonna do a joke like this, it's well produced. I guess I need to try to advance my mana here. We'll go white, because I don't actually have any actual white sources right now. The heck? Are they playing like no counters? Oh, bounce my growth. Yikes! No, Roy. I think if you want a good option, you want a good, like, if you want a joke option, make sure it's a good joke option. And I don't think anyone was distracted from having an opinion there. Wow. That's a play. Man, if I draw a fetch land, this may turn around real quick. No fetch land. All right, Hyper Omnath, you know what to do. I play my Hyper Omnath. Yeah, buddy. Thank you, sir. May I have another? So we make two this turn cast Hyper Omnath, and then we grab this land and make Solitude. Bloop. Misdirection in Modern, Roy? Might as well cast Force or put in Prince Force of Will. Wow. I cannot believe that went so well. Opponent must be knowledgeable about the matchup. Okay. I think we definitely want to go down on Solitudes. I mean, that kind of thing is difficult for Duck and Lol. That's like a kind of he said, they said, they said, they said situation. Like, if your opponent made it clear enough what they were doing and you said yes, it's like, yeah, it's tough. And as a judge, let me tell you something. Like, that's one of the crappiest moments I had was that at pre-release, there was a communication issue along that line. And I had to make a judgment call from between someone who admittedly was kind of like quiet and nervous seeming, communicating to someone who was, let's say, personality wise a lot more dominant in that matchup, like in terms of the way the social exchange was going. And I just didn't want to I didn't want to I didn't want to favor the person who seemed to be like just dominating the judge call when the other person just seemed like they may be nervous or something like that. It was a really hard judgment call to make. But it was a pre-release. They were playing for like 2 packs. The player I ruled against eventually lost the match, and they came up to me at the end of the tournament and they were like, oh, lost that match because you made that call. Sorry. The volume's all over the place with this stuff. I'm trying to sideboard as well, and I'm trying to look up Mord's Guide to do so. Thank you. There we go. Minus Spreading Seas. -4 Solitude, really? Wow. And a Fury? Jesus. And Prismatic Ending? I guess that makes sense. 3 Fluster Storms, 2 Forest, 2 Veto, Endurance. Okay, Endurance is the card I missed. We're not against blue-white, we're against Esper. I'm not sure. I think I want Veil here. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I have not, Roy. That's funny, Katrina Muerte. But that's one of those situations where I shouldn't be louder. I can just turn the music down more. Sorry, it's just when we do the song requests, sometimes they're all over in volume. There we go. There we go. This should be okay. Oh, maybe I was supposed to cut the sprawls, huh? For the controlling matchup and just keep a land heavy hand. Because Mord's other build didn't have sprawl. Okay, worth thinking about. Because I don't know if my opponent who's on Esper is playing Spreading Seas or not, so it's like I can't really just jam out the sprawl on one. Yeah, that kind of stuff happens too, Shadowless, like when you just don't know rules well enough. So where was it? Yeah, Katrina Muerte, in that situation, like the judge is going to walk up to the table and be like, how many turns ago was this? And you'll say whatever number of turns it was, and then they'll probably go, shrug emoji. We're not fixing it. You both get warnings for GRVs. Please don't do that again. Like, I assume this is going to go through. Yeah. Wasn't there something like that with Flink? Maybe. Was there? Did he resolve a Veil of Summer and then he tried to cast something else against something else? I think so. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like more than enough time has passed in this match that like attempting to do anything about it would be theoretically more detrimental to the like validity of the game state than not. So we're just gonna leave it. Like we're gonna leave it. We're leaving it. Like there, it doesn't make any sense to. Yeah. I get it. Well, like Chris is like a long time player of that deck, and he's very on the up and up, and he always like is very clear about stuff. And missing a pack trigger is just something eventually happens. Yeah, I think that I remember the situation. I think I remember the situation you're talking about, and that he just scooped because he was like, "Oh, I missed my pack trigger scoop." Like, I'll take my warning, but I'm just gonna scoop. Like, it's fine. Hey, Badagaboosh. So let's see how much mana we get out of them by playing Iteration here. Because I haven't played my land drop yet, and then we can play Witness, pick it up, or pick up the Omnath. Wow, it resolved? Hot. Hand. Bottom. Exile. It's from the anime version of Frozen. And by anime version, I mean regular. I just remember when this song was really popular, and I went and listened to it the first time, and I was like, why? Hey, it's fine. It's okay. So green, red, and I can play Witness afterwards anyway. Probably want to start holding up Veto here, so maybe instead of that we should play Teferi here, and then I can play, I can't play Veto there, but I can play a land to play Veto. Maybe I play Witness first, because they're less likely to actually counter the Witness. Sticking Wrenn and Six seems like the best in this matchup, usually. And then this plus the land gets me the veto. Yeah, I can check it out for you, Katrina Muerte. Your favorite deck? Really? Huh. Oh no, my opponent has executed a single 2-for-1. They're catching up to my Wrenn and Six. It's all over now. People. Whoa, what? Are they on Reanimator? Nope. Bliss up. Thank. Thanks to Tom Cardy, I'm never going to think of those modern inspirational pop culture words the same way, and I'm great. Bless up. It's not Death Cloud, but it'll do in a pinch, right? So let's play Teferi with Veil Veto backup. Seems gross. Boop. Absorb? Oh, Mending. Hilarious. There's a Remblem issue? What's the Remblem issue? Oh, there's something about crashes, right? I haven't played Wrenn in a little while. Keck W. Game over. User wins. Alright, I guess I won't Remblem this game. Remblem and risk it? Nah. Opponent was salty. No, it's good, Georgie boy. If we don't have to, we just won't. And if we have to, I'll suffer. All right. Got a deck to look at from Katrina Muerte. Yeah, that seems like fairly similar to something that Mord was running. It looks good. 30 lands is probably too high with 4 Wrenn and 6 and 4 Abundant Growth. But I guess you only need to go down 1. And you don't need to. It's just like you could probably get away with it. You might want to, what is it, Meddling Mage or Drannith Magistrate in the main deck. Just because those are like pretty good meta calls. Wow. No green and no red. Yeah, this is a reject. This one's going back in the pile. Go down 1 land, up 1 Abundant Harvest. Yeah, that's probably fine, right? Sprawl really hasn't been blowing me away in this league, Rosen, for what it's worth. If that's worth anything to you. We can pitch for Fury, but my opponent kept their 7 there on a Luris deck. It's probably GDS. Lavinia is a great... I wouldn't say Lavinia is a great call. Lavinia is a call. Okay, if we're against GDS, I'm going to keep this bottom in Omnath. Bottom of Fury, bottom in Omnath. Let's see what we're up against. Yeah, the thing is, like, curves just like it's Sprawl is just not super necessary in these decks. Okay. There's literally only one card they can take. Yeah, that's the other thing is like Blood Moons and Spreading Seas are. The thing is, they're not as rampant as they once were, but they're still around. All right, not playing anything until hard casting Omnath on 4 seems good. Feels magic, man. Yeah, and the thing is, you can adjust to your LGS meta. That's not a bad idea. You just also need to consider how to adjust to larger fields. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we're not doing anything until we hardcast Fury on 5. Red's a mod with on Spike's chat, and he brought it up at one point. He wanted to like do something for my stream. Like he was like, "Hey, I want to input this command," or like, "Hey, some mod put this command in." And I was like, "What? Where are you? Something? Are you on somewhere?" Caleb, there we go. But the point is, like, the anecdote is correct. At one point, you were like, "Hey, I'd like this. Like, I want like someone put this command." And I was like, "Oh, you do it yourself. I grant you your powers." Yes, but you haven't been around here so as long, Rosen. I did an edit com on accident here. Oh no, you're an on accident person? Oh, I don't think we could be friends anymore. On accident. How do you sleep at night? On accident. I tell you. Probably American. So I've got green, I've got red. So I need to start getting whites. I've got some blue. I don't need double blue for much else at all. Probably blue-white is the way to go here. And I have, yeah. Hey, Unbreakable Wit. Yikes. Well, shoddy on to hand. Pass the turn. Everyone in this chat tends to be very helpful. Well, I was right that we were against Shadow. I wasn't right about Grixis. But, Luris Black, very popular right now. You don't think the Canadians give you enough hate? That's fair. That's fair. We need to hate harder. All right, so I'm almost deterministically dead. Let's pull them slightly more off red. I love Sultai, no Goyf Luris. What a goofy list. All right, so this preserves my life total by the maximum amount. So, oh, I'm just dead on board. They already had lethal. Sorry, I miscounted by 1. Yeah, Canada is just America Light TM. That is my favorite way to look at it. Spike was 19-2 with Field. Oh, Lotus Field. Then went 0-2 against GDS to close out the stream. Well, that's how she goes. Davide Piz, I missed your or Pitz, I missed your follow, but thank you for the follow there, friend. We're against Shunned. This is probably good. Dress Down is very well. Dress Down is split, right? Because they've got shadows, but they also have Goyfs. What am I cutting? Teferi's like, eh. Probably don't need Time Warp. America zero salt. No, there's salt in Canada. I don't think Fury's very good in this matchup. Although there might be Ragavans I didn't see. Yeah, low sodium America, right? I think Fury's probably worth keeping. Yeah, Goy's just a great threat in the metagame. It against Unholy Heat decks, it often doesn't die to Unholy Heat, which is hilarious. Like, you'd think Spike cuts Fury, but it's kind of needed against Turok? Yeah, I think so. Well, we don't know if this Jund Shadow deck is playing Turok, right? Like, I have no read on what they're actually playing. I think Spreading Seas should be really good here just to mess with their colors. But it's probably one of the worst things. So we could just shave on them. No, I shouldn't shave on Ephemerate. Alright. We're making stuff up. Because we keep running into matchups that are not well defined. Alright. It's not great, but it gets there. So, Raugrin Triome into Breeding Pool? Yeah, for sure. Wild Defiance. School's out. I see my viewer count pumping up, so Spike must have finished up his stream, as you mentioned. It's really funny to watch the ebbs and flows of stream numbers. When school lets out, everyone, there's Spike raids someone, but then a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't want to watch this stream. Who else is on?" It's always fun to see the numbers. I don't even need to check Twitch to see who's going off and on sometimes. And no, it's mostly because of Expressive Iteration, Arosen. Expressive Iteration. Spike does not have a kid, or at least not one that's ever appeared on stream Shadowless. It would make sense, but no, he doesn't. You would think so, but Hoagland has 3 kids now. And he starts early. He literally used to drop his kids off at the bus, start up a stream, and then pick his kids up when his stream ended. Either can cast it. Oh, you're right. I think part of it is wanting to have double green. No. To set up 4 double green? Nope. No, I don't know. They're fairly interchangeable. I just know that this is the go-to. At least I think it is. He used to say Temple Garden, but he's... Mord used to say, like, get the Temple Garden early, but recently he's been more on, well, you can wait with it. It might be what lands you want to leave in the deck to fetch later. Hoagland's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but he's also, like, acutely aware of that, and he's not... I like him. He's very clear about who he is, and he doesn't take any bullshit from anybody. And I know, and we always get into this argument, or not argument, the discussion point always comes up that it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you're saying that. That's exactly how people describe the ex-president of the United States of America. And it's like, yeah, but this person's not a monster. Like, this this person's actually honest about what they don't. No, see, that's the thing. It's oh, he speaks his mind. It's like, yeah, but then he doesn't also just bullshit you on everything. Like, it's totally different when the person actually lives up to their word all the time. And when they screw up, they say, yeah, I really fucked up. Like, I made a mistake, and that wasn't a good thing for me to do. I did it because I'm human. It's like, oh, that's so refreshing. Really disliked him and he started doing so much for the community. That's fine. You're allowed to dislike him, but you don't have to, like, I don't know, be aggressively. Like, some people are just, like, weirdly aggressive about it. Okay, so I guess Teferi back the Scourge is pretty good here, because I've got Ice-Fang to block the DRC. He does Fnatic. I totally get that. I agree that he's abrasive, but a lot of nerds are. So, I don't know what to tell you. Like, one of my best friends is a very abrasive nerd. He just, like, sometimes he just does not know how to talk to people in a way that they're going to hear what. And I can be like that too, man. Sometimes I listen back to, like, or I think back to how I was talking during a stream, and I think, like, God, I must have come off as such an asshole to somebody. Like, I'm not always proud of the way that I carry myself on stream. I think some of it is entertaining, but well, yeah, that's true, Katrina, but it's also like, oh, Torpor Orb, eh? Okay. So the next Teferi can bounce that. Do I want to Solitude the DRC in response to this? Probably not. If they have a discard spell, I end up in a kind of bad spot, because they'll discard my Teferi that would bounce that to play my Witness to get the Prismatic Ending back. Alright, well, I'm letting it resolve. Come what may. Night's Whisper. Oh yeah, this person's on the old tech. It might be, Roy, it might be. I don't really have anything in my hand that I really want to ditch. I guess if they attack with the DRC, I'd flash in the Solitude. You know what? I'm probably supposed to flash in the Solitude pitching the Omnath here. This is not doing anything for me for a while, and this will distract them heavily. Plus, I get a life linker against their Scourge of the Skyclaves. So next turn, yeah, all right, let's do the thing. This is Reed Duke's list? Really? The Duke. I'll tell you, I love the Duke. Just something about that man. Torpor Orb? Yeah? That's why I have a Solitude. It wasn't a misplay, if that's what you're concerned about, Jamelia. That was very much an intentional, like, I'm gonna have a 0 mana 3/2 lifelink flash. Yeah. Bolt. Sure. It sure does, Roy. Oh, you're Canadian. You must know Bob, right? Bob? Yeah, he works in the office. Oh, Office Bob. Yeah, he died. I think that's the same one, right? Or the same series? Yeah, it's the same series, Roy, of like the joke being like, oh, those presumptuous Americans. Yeah, the joke in that one was everyone knows everyone. The joke in another one was like everyone lives in an igloo. The one in another one was like everyone like owns a beaver. All right, so if I play Urian this turn, they have a 5/5 Scourge, which if they have a TBR is lethal, which is not great. Thanks, Merry Winter. Where's my beaver? He's out on the porch. It's cold out. He likes it there. Okay. I've encountered a beaver in the wild. I mean, they're wild animals. Like, I think I'm supposed to play Urian here to defend. And it's possible we're just, like, straight up not going to block the Scourge. And get slammed. Yeah, I saw one when I was snowboarding when I was younger. A moose bit your sister once? Do you still have a sister? Jesus. They're, large. Okay, it looks like my opponent's flooded a bit. Allures to Hannah. Alright. Oh, you're right. Yeah, right. So we just kill the DRC here. I really need to draw. I really need to top deck a land to be in this game. Or a Prismatic Ending. Yikes. Maybe Time Raveler will just draw me... I guess I can tempo them on the first Time Raveler. Oh, they're dead. That's funny. Now, let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, they're dead. Okay. Sorry. Classic. 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 It's missed. Classic. I thought lethal was going to involve getting the Torpor up off the battlefield. Alright, let's bring this Teferi back. Jesus Christ, Zach. And there was much rejoicing. And yea, did chat celebrate the fact that Mana Symbol found lethal, and there was much rejoicing. It's not my fault, I wasn't looking for it. It's definitely my fault. Yea, and verily. And what was it? And if it twere, 'twould be terrific. And if it twere, 'twould be terrific. Yikes. Psycho Keep? Anyone on the Psycho Keep? Well, again, that's because, like, in that deck, I'm looking for lethal. Because I'm playing Destiny Spinner, I'm trying to kill people. In this deck, we don't look for lethal. We just let lethal find us. We're low on land count. If this gets discarded, it's, like, really rough. But, alright, fine. No Wandering Mind. Unplayable. Don't take my Utopia Sprawl. Don't do it. Don't do it. They did it. Foolish opponent. Don't you know? I'm playing Mord's deck. They saw the line. It's okay, we'll just draw a white source off the top. Night's Whisper? Sure, you got it. To be fair, they can't resolve a Scourge yet. Never didn't have it. Who doubted? Who doubted? Any doubters in the chat? Yes. As I would have. But my keep was mathematically correct. You know what all these cards are. Was it actually mathematically correct? It depends on what your tolerance for variance is, Roy. That's the answer to your question. What's your tolerance on variance? Would you keep that if you were 80% to hit a land? Would you keep it if it was 60% to hit a land? How good is the rest of the hand in this matchup mathematically? And that's the thing. Math doesn't work super well with Magic, right? It just doesn't. Like, 80% hit chance sounds really good. Is it? Oh god, I don't have white mana. Well. I have 2/1/1 flyers, though. Those could get the job done. Oh, no, we do the thing again, right? Yeah, we do the thing again. They basically are locked into taking the ending here. Yeah, I've done that too, Carrion. Yesterday we kept a 2-lander. We didn't see a land in, it was like 8 draw steps? No, 2 mana sources. We had the land in the Springleaf Drum. But there were 19 lands to hit in the deck, and we just never found one. Not one. It was like completely incomprehensible. All right, no need to fetch here to play the Witness because it doesn't do anything. That's annoying. All right. This is fantastic. Well, yeah, Luris to hand. I mean, they had double discard. We hit the wrong color of land. I'm not mad about anything. If I attack, they kill me on the crackback. Where's our Flame Rift? We don't have one. There's also no bolts. Any out involves me living through the next turn. I'm pretty sure we go Wrenn and Six. Pick up a land, pass. Because we block and then we have to draw Teferi. They're going to cast Lurrus into nothing for the moment. But there's like a top deck ending. Yeah. Top deck ending. Yikes. Well, top decking ending is still valid. Not as good, but oops. Okay. All right, just dead. All right, close one. They had a lot of discard. We didn't draw it the way we needed to. It happens. I think I may have misplayed what card I exiled to the... Yeah, because then I didn't have an Ephemerate in my graveyard. But there should be an Ephemerate in my graveyard rather than 2 Prismatic Endings. But I think it's pretty marginal. They had Inquisition, Thoughtseize. This Thougtseize was irrelevant. That one was too late to be problematic. But the Torpor Orb really doing business, really doing good work in the games that it was in. It works for decks that have a very fast clock, like Shadow. Especially Scourge Shadow, where they have a huge number of very, very aggressive openings. And discard effects to protect the Torpor Orb. Long queues today. There we go. All right, let's get our burrito money back. Last seen on Chad Nauseum? Oh no. Linear spell-based combo. Well, we do have Teferis in the deck. This has 2 redraws and good mana. Let's go. Temple Garden Sprawl on blue. We'll see where we end up. Playing Ad Nos 2 right now. Yeah, it's been doing well. Yep, that's Ad Nauseam. Yikes. All right, none of their exile stuff, so they're not going fast this game. But, yikes. You didn't know this is an actual theme? Wait, what? Hold on, I'm confused. Ah, got it, got it. No, this is just the fighting music from Final Fantasy VII. Oh, good. We can interact with that. Yeah, this is not the version from the game, and it's not the version from Advent Children, but it's a good cover. I actually like the Advent Children version slightly better than this, but this is very good. I just like their arrangement better. I also love that in the game this is called Those Who Fight, and then the boss battle music is called Those Who Fight Further. Nobuo Uematsu, in your command of naming your songs. Probably did not even name the songs. Yeah, I don't think he named the English names. If they're direct translation, it's like, well, of course they sound kind of goofy. Like, all right, so we could die next turn, but I'm probably just gonna have to Urian and draw 2 cards and put a better clock into play. Yeah, I mean, never not gonna noodle here. Because I don't think they're going to respect any instant speed interaction out of me. They shouldn't. For reference, the Advent Children. Oh, no, the Advent Children was the piano one. I think I'd have forested. All right. Those would fight further. This is the one I was thinking of, which is sick. This is not it. That is not it. Ooh, Canister coming in with a raid. This is the version that was actually in the thing.
You can run, but you can't glide.
Send you nudes? All right, hit me up with your Twitter stuff. We're playing 4-color against Ad Nauseam, so we're almost definitely dead here. But Canister can shred me on my ability to play the game. Oh, good. go. We rad jamming. Simple man. I see red. A gym. Oh. I guess I should have solituded that so they didn't get the scry. Yeah, we're just listening to a metal cover. This is the version, or this is very similar to the version that was in Advent Children. So we can jam them with Omnath here. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I mean, I'm okay with that Titan o'clock, but also, yeah, let me fiddle with it. Yeah. I try to keep it within the same range, but this is also a very dynamic piece. They have to have the kill by now. What? Oh, they're going to Angel's Grace. Still. Surprising. Oh. What? Value Nas? I don't believe it. Okay. They're digging for a Grace. They don't have it, and they have to dig for it. Wow, they're playing multiple copies of Ad Nauseam in their Ad Nauseam deck? Keck W, what year is this? Actually, Time War might be okay. The decision. It sure is. You want a song list gadget. There you go. It's called Bad Nauseam. I call it Chad Nauseam Martinez because it's the most assertive of all the combo decks. There you go. Banger. All right. Put the Veils in? Sure. Oh, I've got Martinez here. Please, please offer your assistance. Yeah, thank you. Now this. That's a classic. Yeah, they're an Oracle deck. Do I want any of them? Yeah, Witness, Ephemerate, Time Warp can lock the game. Same with Veto. Ice-Fang's pretty bad. As just like a rant. Yeah, Ice-Fang's probably the worst. Like little shitter. And it doesn't pitch to anything. Ephemerate probably better than Seas. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, if we're able to take them off their prismatic, off the Lotus Blooms and off the prisms. The piano one, that was Those Who Fight from Final Fantasy Advent Children. That was a piano, like a person playing a piano arrangement of it that was in Advent Children. Seas can be pretty good. I think so. Snakes are probably better than Seas? You really think
Compadres,
so?
it is imperative that we crush the freedom fighters before the start of the rainy season.
Thanks for the follow
and
there.
Remember, a shiny new donkey for whoever brings me the head of Colonel Montoya.
I like Seas here. I mean, the only downside of Seas is it isn't an instant. And I have to hold up interaction a lot, like just to have them respect it. Like, I guess...
Compadres, it is
Omnath's
imperative
going
that we
best
crush the
box.
Freedom
This is a
Fighters
lock.
before the start of the rainy season.
Right,
And remember,
I know.
a shiny new
81
donkey
card special,
for
let's
whoever
go.
brings me the head of Colonel Montoya.
Yeah. I swear to you, when I was a kid and I was playing Pokemon on my Game Boy, this is what the song sounded like in my head. It was this intense. So good. Nothing like 4-channel 8-bit. Yeah, it looked good too. Yeah, the game looked good. I think it still stands up. I really like it doesn't look as bad as. Yeah, I would believe that Steez Train. I tend to buy one Pokemon game every like 5 years. And the base notes on like the 8-bit games are so good. I could never imagine trying to play Pokemon competitively. It's not that ain't it for me. I couldn't imagine it. Seaboosh. I don't support new Nintendo. That's a totally fine thing to do. I get it. Hey, Alex. Oh. Well, Nintendo over the last couple years has had a really weird relationship with its fans. Like, there was a while where they were just, like, scorched earth anything that was, like, a fan cover, a fan... Yeah, that's true. The new Nintendo has backed off on the censorship. That's true. Nintendo's always been like that. Yeah, but it's different when the world changed around them. Probably just supposed to play Witness, pick up the ending, and then die. I don't know. Let's represent Veto and see if they respect it. Mega Man games always sound like excellent Iron Maiden songs. The harmonized lead and the gallop. That's what gets you there. Did they just die? Okay. They did die. What did they name? Names ad nauseum dies. That's what happens if you register a deck without knowing how it works, I think. No, they were playing 3 or 4 in the first game Tuesday because they played an ad nauseum and they flipped 2 more ad nauseums. Yeah, like, it should be a 1-of. Yeah, they were. We commented on it. Martinez knows what's up. So yeah, for future viewers on YouTube, that's a way to stumble and fumble your way through through a league with this deck. So stay tuned for me playing more for everyone live. But in the future, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any other videos. And yeah, for those live, we're gonna keep playing this. I just need to get up for a minute, and I'll be right back. So probably like 2 minutes. Do you want to try my Bant version with red only for Omnath? Is it, so you say it's more controlling? Is it 80 cards or is it 60? Because I feel like if you want to be more of a control deck, I think Kahira 60 card is the better way to go. 80 but 9 main deck counterspells. That's just not that high though in 80 cards, is it? What is that like? That's like playing 6 in 60? That's not enough. At least I don't think it is. I don't know. It's hard to know. I think I want to keep playing the same list for a while because I'm just trying to get my feet under me with these archetypes. I find them very taxing. Like I need to get used to one list for a little while.